This is the Weather Xtreme video for Monday evening, December 21st. I'm James Spann. The chance of severe weather at midweek on Wednesday. Many questions about that. We'll see if we can answer those questions. Temperatures near record levels for Christmas Day. And maybe another severe weather threat Monday of next week, and then we turn cooler. So many things to discuss. We'll take our time and do that. We'll start with the big picture. This is the water vapor satellite view. A strong subtropical jet stream across the deep south, squeezing out some rain. That was the radar at 1:57. At that point, the bulk of the rain was north of Interstate 20. We'll maintain a good chance of mostly light to moderate rain at times tonight. And temperatures aren't that bad today. Got 50s on the board. But we will be warming up in coming days. A pretty good chance we see 70 tomorrow and low 70s on Wednesday. In terms of severe weather, we have a marginal severe weather risk tonight near the Gulf Coast, from near Lake Charles, Louisiana to Panama City Beach, Florida. This includes extreme south and southwest Alabama. No problems up this way. Tomorrow, the higher chance of severe weather is over parts of Texas, Oklahoma, and southwest Arkansas. That would include Dallas-Fort Worth. A marginal risk over into South Alabama. That includes Mobile, Gulf Shores, Dothan, Greenville, Monroeville, Thomasville. But for the northern half of the state, no severe weather problems expected tomorrow. But the big day we'll focus on is Wednesday. And this is the current risk coming from the Storm Prediction Center for day 3, Wednesday and Wednesday night. A slight risk, which is the standard severe weather risk for northwest Alabama, parts of middle and western Tennessee, much of Mississippi, and some of the adjacent states. A marginal risk as far north as Indianapolis, and then all the way down to the Gulf Coast. This is a little higher resolution look at that in our state. And understand this will change. The guys tonight at midnight will issue a new outlook for Wednesday, and more than likely it will be maybe a moderate risk, and the slight risk extends farther to the south in the state, so inevitably this will change. But the better combination of shear and instability does indeed seem to be over the northwestern part of the state. Rain, how about a lot for the next 5 days? This is valid through Saturday morning. This is suggesting a bullseye of 6.7 inches at Dothan. Amounts for the rest of the state between 1 and 3 inches, but the heavier totals down south. Now, we note the Weather Service in Atlanta has posted a flash flood watch for much of their state. Southeast Alabama is under one. I think the southern half of the state will wind up under a flash flood watch at some point this week. Not so sure the northern counties need to be. And winter weather problems out west. All those counties in the shades of pink, those are winter storm warnings from the mountains of Colorado back into Washington, Oregon, and California. And again, if you're looking for a white Christmas, that is the place to be. All right, model fans, here we go. The GFS, this is the 12Z run, valid tomorrow at noon, troughing to the west. Down below that, a warm front is pushing north. And again, we'll have a chance of showers tomorrow, but I really don't think it rains a lot during the day. In fact, I might even say a decent part of the day will be rain-free. But understand, yes, a chance of showers. Noticeably warmer. The high tomorrow should be around 70. The sun might peek out at times. This is 3 o'clock off the high-res HER model tomorrow, showing the most widespread rain down over the southern half of the state. And again, there could be some strong storms south of Montgomery. But this is the day we'll focus on. This is Wednesday. And again, you can see a deep trough to the west going somewhat negative tilt. At the surface, a 989 millibar low is north of St. Louis. And we are clearly in the warm sector. This is the instability values Wednesday at noon, Cape. And again, we've got Cape values in excess of 2,000 joules per kilogram over parts of southwest Alabama, central Mississippi, and inevitably that will be advecting northward as the day progresses. In fact, look at the dew points. This is coming off the high-res NAM at 6 o'clock Wednesday evening, and it's got a dew point of 70 in Demopolis and Montgomery, 68, upper 60s for Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Anniston. That is very robust for late December. This is the storm relative helicity in the lower levels, and those values are maximized over the Tennessee Valley. And again, somewhere over, it looks like North Alabama, Northwest Alabama, there'll be a sweet spot where you've got the best combination of instability and helicity. And this is an interesting chart. This is a combo chart. The colors, that's the Cape, the instability. And the barbs, the red barb, that's near the surface. The middle barb, that's about 5,000 feet off the ground, the low-level jet. And that top barb is about 18,000 feet off the ground. You can see how the wind changes direction with altitude very clearly. And with a lot of instability, that is certainly problematic. So no doubt we'll need to mention the risk of tornadoes Wednesday and Wednesday night. And this is the STP, the significant tornado parameter. And again, you can see that is maximized really along and north of Interstate 59. But understand, there could be tornadic activity below Interstate 59. It's in the northern half of the state with a very significant chance. In fact, the numbers really peak at about a 5 to 6 over Pickens County in West Alabama. So we will be on our toes for the potential for all modes of severe weather, including damaging straight-line winds and tornadoes. The analogs, now understand, this is 15 events all combined. It's not going to look like that from one event, but all this is saying is that previous setups have produced a good bit of severe weather across the Deep South. One analog that pops up is November 21st, 2001. We had a lot of tornadoes that day. So, and I think in terms of the timing, the main threat, noon to midnight, that 12-hour window. And, of course, we'll be much more specific tomorrow, but everybody needs to be able to get warnings, know where you're going. Be sure your guests know where they're going if you have friends and relatives in for Christmas. We hope we get through this with no severe weather, but it certainly looks like it could be. It has the potential to be a high-impact event. All right, Christmas Eve, the front just kind of fizzles out and dies over Interstate 59. Moisture still trapped below that, so we'll maintain a chance of showers. There's still some instability over the southern half of the state, so there might even be a strong storm Thursday over South Alabama, but no tornado threat. The dynamics have lifted far away. And again, the day will be very mild with a high possibly in the middle 70s. And this is Friday, Christmas Day. The front is still north of us, so we stay in warm, muggy air. The latest Moss product spitting out a high of 74 for Friday. And if we hit that, that ties the record for Christmas Day for Birmingham. And again, we'll need to mention a chance of showers. No severe weather, but a chance of showers. Temperature anomalies on Christmas Day. The El Nino blowtorch across the Deep South. Temperatures way above average, colder than average in the western states. If you're looking for snow and cold, go out west. Here's our snow cover expectation for midday Christmas Day. Better chance of snow down from Green Bay, Wisconsin to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and points north and west. Denver, Billings, Bismarck, Boise, Spokane, places like that. They'll get a white Christmas, nice and cold and snowy, but the east, forget about it. Okay, so here comes the next system. This is Saturday as the weekend begins, and we still stay very balmy with highs in the low to mid-70s, maybe a few showers. Snow begins to dig down perhaps into the Texas Panhandle, and Sunday you can see how a winter storm cranks up for places like Amarillo, Texas, Lubbock, Texas, Gage, Oklahoma, the western half of Kansas, Albuquerque, New Mexico. That could be a big snow. Some icing problems maybe in the transition zone, and then rain and storms in the warm sector. And for us on Sunday, it looks very mild or warm with a chance of showers, but nothing too widespread. This is Monday of next week, December 28th. There's a deep upper low that's over Kansas, and again, another dynamic system. A strong surface low that's over Kansas, heavy snow for Nebraska, the western part of Kansas. In the warm sector where we are, looks like we'll deal with a round of strong storms late Monday or Monday night. Severe weather possible, but understand there is no way now we can define that risk a week in advance. Just be aware potential is there. And then finally on Tuesday, the 29th, that is on by, and we start to trend cooler. This is the end of the forecast period, Christmas, and not Christmas Eve, but New Year's Eve, December 31st, which is a Thursday. Troughing to the west, a cold 1043 high over the Dakotas. It looks like a front is near Interstate 20, so that would suggest maybe some showers for the southern two-thirds of the state, but clearly the numbers start to trend down next week and beyond. In fact, you can see by the time we get into the new year, highs will drop to about 50 and lows down around freezing, much more like winter time. So again, cool weather fans, be patient. That time will come back. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. We'll have notes in the blog. The next video here by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. If you can catch us this evening on the live stream or on television, ABC 3340 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening, and God bless.